states in Animal Farm is the theme of power and its corrupting influence on people, enforcing that people who get too much power may become drunk with the power and overuse it and exploit others. And we see this because in the book, the pigs who initially led this rebellion eventually became more and more like the human they overthrew, becoming drunk in the power that they obtained. Now, this happening leads them to exploiting and controlling the other animals, which highlights in the book George Orwell's theme of totalitarianism and its dangers to society. Now, totalitarianism, ladies and gentlemen, is the overusing and the control of one person, overusing their power to control others and all they do. And you know something, one thing about this book is that Orwell made sure that all of these characters are not only memorable to us, but the characters are very much important in their very own way, and they all, each of them, symbolize people in society, and they symbolize a specific message. For example, we see Napoleon in the book. Now, Napoleon is the pig who later on took control of the farm. And Napoleon is used by George Orwell to symbolize power and its corrupting influence. And then there is another one, the second one, who is Boxer. Now, Boxer is a loyal and hard-working horse. Boxer represents the working class people who work hard to earn their living, who are mostly exploited by those in power. Now, you know something, not only the relevance of the book, but you then go on to look at George Orwell's writing style. His writing style is not only simple, but it is effective in that it allows the reader to easily understand George Orwell's complex political ideas, and it helps understand what he's trying to relate with the book. His use of animals and characters and the farm setting as a microcosm or a smaller fragment of society is particularly something that I find clever and very much intellectual, because it allows us to relate to the book, and it allows him to showcase a lot more of his themes of totalitarianism and its negative effect on society. Now, if you will allow me to say this, Animal Farm, ladies and gentlemen, is it's a timeless classic that remains relevant in today's time, was relevant when it was published, and will still remain relevant to future readers. Because the book showcases society as a whole and how it truly coagulates with people, its people. Now, Orwell is very relevant in his conveyance of power and its corrupting influence, and in totalitarianism as a challenge and an enigma to society. And his conveyance of his messages and his themes, his teachings, are what makes this a book that should be read by everyone, and I mean anyone. And from my experience with the book, it's a book that I truly recommend to everyone and anyone. Now, one thing I also noticed about this book, its symbolism, is that we are able to relate it not only to society but to our school system as a whole. Because in his book, you can see that Orwell also relates to us as learners, a teaching that we should be cautionary, should be very cautious and careful of others, even those who are in authority, trying to manipulate their power against us and exploiting us. And he also, in his book, highly showcases that we can do that through educating ourselves, so that we can be able to differentiate between being led and being manipulated and exploited. Now there is a specific quote from the book which says, the only difference between humans and animals is a set of rules. And it is something that I want to live with you today, because in this quote, George Orwell says all animals and everyone are all equal and should be treated as such. I thank you for this opportunity today and lending me your ears. I will now retreat back. Thank you so much.
Hey, abooluganda manya n'eddoboozi nga bulijjo obulya mu Nyende. Muzzukulu wa Yekoniya ziraba muzaale. Ffe abasomesa abaayitibwa Yesu Kristo, abagoberezi ba Yesu Kristo, kyetulekera okusomesa okujjako nga kadde kavuze. Abadde waayitawo aze abamuka alimale nina okumwetegereza. Ffe abasomesa abagoberezi ba Yesu Kristo, manya abasomesa balimu enjawulo. Waliyo abo abagoberera nga bali diplomatic ducks. Mwana wetu ziyita egamba diplomatic ducks, they form one line. Kekagitanda mama mbato batata mbata nagwa mu kinya zonna nga zigwayo. Era zitera okwambala bwe bwa bukyali bwana buto bubeera mu kala ya yellow. Kata abo waliyo abasomesa awo batyo abo bakusomesa kubeera mu line musululu moja. Abasomesa abagoberera Yesu Kristo nga bo bakugula bwongo, si musululu moja, kugula bwongo. Taizo kusomesa leso yetaso lango kunyumira. Niwana wa musululu moja bwabanyina okujayo ku kibooko sebo. Bajayo kibooko enganda, bajayo kibooko enzungu. Kibooko enzungu ze zino ezifulumya amasasi. Kakati baatutidde omukulu w'ekika ky'abendiga. Now, mu Buganda emabega eri mu history balinga batabusi okutuusa lwe twafuna ku musajja Muteesa. N'atandika okuteesa, tuteesa buteesa. Gundi osobezza tuteese. Bwe kiba kitegeeza na kujjako, tugenda kujjako mu kuteesa. Kakati ekiri e Uganda wabula kyo kikaabya amaziga kuba kati ate bwe mutandika n'okutta abakulira ebika. Eno gye mulaze wagenda kubaleetera ebikolimo, kubanga buli mukulu yenna Katonda amuteekawo kuweereza abantu. Kakati gwe wookwata ku oyo Katonda gw'ataddewo okuweereza abantu n'omutta, obeera ogezako kutta Katonda oba ogezako kutta nteekateeka ya Katonda. Kale n'olwekyo ekikolimo kiba kikukuti oba weewangulidde ekikolimo nno mu bintu by'okusaaga. Ojja kungamba ebikolimo by'enkoko tebitta kamunye. Kale tuli kivumbula oluvannyuma nga tutudde. Wali awo wakanirwa. Ennaku zino mbadde nsoma akatabo Animal Farm. Banange sooka okwebaza mukwano gwange yampeereza ka video ak'omwana muwala oyo, mwana muto naye nga analyzing Animal Farm. Kati Animal Farm ako nakasoma like the last time I read it was like 10 years ago. Yeah, about 10 years ago. Kati nikugula mulu nenga mbakanziremu. Now, get this. Nyasobodde ogenda mu YouTube nenfuna analysis ya Animal Farm, nangenda mu Google nenfuna PDF summary eza Animal Farm, ne buli kimu n'ekisoma. Nenga mumanyi kati nina okusoma n'akatabo Animal Farm. Kati wano waliwo obutabo buyita audio books. Nenka downloadinga. It is only 3 hours. Nakandi Katonda wange. Ino utasomanga kibi. Omusajja n'atukulubulira emyaka kati igenda mu 40 nga actually blueprint plan gyatukulumuliramu emyaka 40 eri mu animal farm. Akati mujagamba nti ndi mukujuwisa nedda ssebo. Munne Kawenkene eyamutraining oba animal oba okubeera manager wa animal farm yatandika atya yopese yopese. Ono bwe yajja n'atugamba no change netubeera awo katimba no change naye ng'omuntu omubuzo wayo bino byoyimba no change bitegeeza kigasobola n'okuddamu kate wamala ate ne bagamba constitution bagikyusiza babadde bayimba no change nyate kati bachanginga constitution nange awe nalabira embaata